Hello everybody and welcome to episode 4 of Vitamins presented by St. Luke's. I'm Fabian Krislovic and as always I'm joined by Adam Webster. Webby, how you doing?
Very well, mate. Very, very well. I've seen you guys get a couple of wins at home. It's been a good start to the season.
Yeah, it's been a good start. No, sitting in a good spot, a couple of wins, a couple of losses, but
how's the body feeling?
It's good.
Yeah.
The body's feeling good. I think everyone's, I don't think if you ask me that question in a couple of months, it'll have the same answer as the year goes on.
Yep.
But at the moment, we're hanging in there. It's been good. It's a good start to the season, and excited to just keep going.
MyState Bank Arena's been rocking.
Always. I don't think I've had a game there where it hasn't been. I remember we played one game and we were the away team, I think my first year technically, against New Zealand, and it was still rocking for us then. So
absolutely.
I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Always fun to play there. It's a special place.
Very nice. And you're about to go to the Silver Dome as we record this. I mean, Lonnie's a special place. We'll talk about that a little bit with our guest.
Yep.
Always good to head up to the Silver Dome.
It is always good to engage with the fans up there. It's awesome. They're super passionate. And, we have so many people who I'm talking to after games. They make the drive down here. So it's awesome to go up to them and, put up a show in their backyard. So always fun, always fun. But we're back for another episode. Can't wait for this guest today. We've got a couple guests joining us.
Very exciting.
Yes, Majok Deng. He's going to be joining us in a little bit, and super excited to have him. I've been lucky enough to play with him for a couple years, not just here, but we're in Cairns together for a little bit.
I'm going to ask you about that.
Yes. But to start, just quick explainer on vitamins, why we're called Vitamins. Every day with the Jack Jumpers program, we get our vitamins in, whether that's some extra skill work before training starts, a bit of film with the coach, or spending a bit of extra time with H or an RC or a high performance team just to get the body right. So it's just the little things we do every day to get a little bit better, stack up days and get better in the long run.
So we're not talking about supplements, we're talking about actions.
Actions
that you guys are taking on a day-to-day basis to get better every day.
Absolutely.
And St. Luke's are doing the same thing. They're trying to make Tasmania the healthiest island on the planet. So that ties in really well to what you guys are doing every day. You just get a little bit better
every day. That's one thing we can always do, and one thing we want you guys to take away from listening to this. But first, let me give more of an introduction. We have Majok Deng here. He was born in South Sudan before went to Kenya as a refugee, as a young child, before settling in Adelaide. That was been your home as a teenager. This is 10th year in the NBL?
Yeah, about 10th year.
Wow, 10th year in the NBL. Been with us. Year number 2 going in was a massive role in helping us win a championship last year. And then I think one of maybe the more proudest achievements representing South Sudan. We have another Olympian here. Every episode.
That's all we do. We get Olympians on the show.
I think this will be our last one, but representing South Sudan at the Olympics recently. Welcome, Majok. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, mate, what a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah. Hey, you've been one of my favorites for quite a while. I'm going to ask you a weird question straight off the bat, right? You do not dribble before you take a free throw. Now, most players dribble the ball a couple of times, maybe spin it in their hands. You've got like the Kevin Durant shimmy before you take a free throw. Why don't you dribble the ball? Is that just as a luck thing? Is that how it started?
I mean, I used to dribble.
Yeah.
Probably my last year in Adelaide, that's when I stopped dribbling and just go into a quick a pause, a deep breath, spin the ball. Because when I used to dribble, I used to pause a lot and kind of like throw up my rhythm a little bit. Yep. So I kind of just don't think about it too much and just go into a shot.
That's what the first question I want to ask you, because it's stuck out. And free throw routines are a thing, right? 100%. They're a luck. They keep you centered. It's important to establish that.
It is. The free throw, like everyone thinks it's easy. You get out there, it's the same every time. But in the middle of a game, when things are going on, you got the fans watching, a lot on the line. The body does, I guess, freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Very different shooting free throws in practice and in a game. Like, you obviously get the practice in to replicate that, but having a routine, having something that, I guess, calms you down or gets you in the right frame of mind is super important that you go to every time and just reset the body as good as possible. So, yes, it's I know when you see people missing free throws, you're like, they should be doing this is easy. There's a lot of other factors going into it, but that's, I guess, why a lot of people have that routine. And you found yours a little shimmy the shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, that part come from Katy.
I know. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, one of the reasons when I got into basketball, I took it serious. And he caught my eye, and I was just like, I can never play like him, but I can just try to do that.
You can hang on a second.
I was going to say.
Hang on a second. You can sometimes. You are capable. You are really good at this game.
If there's a 6 11, 6'10" bucket in the NBL plays like KD. I think most people,
it is this man.
Play on the outside, inside. Don't sell yourself short there.
What's the weirdest free throw routine you've seen across your basketball careers? Because like I think of like Richard Hamilton, he had 2 dribbles and then one to the side. You had like Jason Kidd doing a little like kiss to the basketball. Like there's some weird stuff out there.
I think for me, it goes back all the way to when I was in college. I seen the kid dribble left, right, and did like a little step back and shoots it.
Step back from the line.
Yeah, step back from the line and shoot it like a jumper.
Wow.
Yeah, and he catch all of them too. So
I was gonna say
whatever works.
The routines don't stick out, but there's people who I've seen like line up way off center and like shoot jump shots.
Yep.
And that for me is always I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone shoot underhand in a game?
I've never seen it.
Not in person, but like I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Was that what, Rick Barry?
That's Rick Barry. Yeah, he was like an 88% free throw shooter underhand.
Might need more people to try bring that in.
Yep.
But also one routine that sticks out, shout out to Jack McVeigh. He just gives a little big smile every time.
Have I seen Anthony Drimmick start that this season a little bit? Have I seen a little bit of a hint of a smile on his face when he's at the line?
Maybe. That guy's always super serious and it looks like he's about to kill you. So maybe when he takes that look off his face, it can be misconstrued as a smile.
I know you guys should be focusing on offensive rebounding, but if you could just like flash a little look at him to see if he's smiling, then that'd be sensate. Maybe even in practice.
I got you.
Just validate that rumor for me.
I can.
That was going around on social media recently. Let's straighten up here. I've gone way off track for the show. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But
that's what we love.
We've got to talk about your experience in the NBL and your Olympic experience, I think, first. For all the fans out there, you've obviously had 10 years in the league. You've had a huge journey. Let's talk about Tasmania, firstly, because that's the most recent memory. What's it like playing for the Jack Jumpers in front of Jack Jumpers fans? What's it been like to be a part of this community over the last couple of years?
I always say it has been a blessing. Coming here, when I came in here, they were 2 years in the league, and they had already achieved so much, more than what anybody was expecting. Obviously, playing against the Jack Jumpers, you see the crowd being on the opposite side of it, the crowd, how they get into it, and then being on the other side now, I'm playing here, and now the crowd is on my side. It's a blessing, and that's one side that I don't want to be on the other side. Obviously, I'll call them the sixth man, and as we all shoot, they help us get over the line when we're low with energy and things like that. But yeah, being here is a blessing. It opened a lot of doors. Obviously, seeing living cans coming here, everything just unfold for me. Obviously, winning a championship, going to the Olympics and things like that, thing that I dreamt of. I just talked to my wife about it. Coming here was like a blessing in the sky. It was just like another God opening a door for us. And yeah, it has been great.
Speaking of, I guess, the community here and the crowd and how loud it is, I don't think I've ever heard it louder than against Perth. Overtime, 25 seconds to go, tie game.
Yes.
Majok here. Transition, step up, running into it, 3 on the wing, everyone going crazy. What's that like, I guess? What's going through your head in that moment? And how fun is it being in front of that crowd and in that instance?
It was good. To be honest, like when I shot that, I didn't I kind of blacked out for a second. I just seen JC looked at me and like, so I thought about 5 steps before I even caught the ball. Like, if you throw it to me, it's going up. So, obviously, it was a tie ball game, and I look at the time. It was like it could be a 2-for-1, but it wasn't in that range.
You're wide open.
It was a little bit too short to be a 2-for-1, but it was an open transition shot.
But in your mind, if you're justifying that, it takes that pressure off. Like, is this a bad shot? Because you know if you miss it, it comes up. No, I was going for the 2-for-1.
Absolutely. If I miss that one, it will be on the bad end of the bad shot.
Exactly. That's okay.
But I just, I worked on it in practice, and I just see it, too confident in myself and took it, and the crowd went crazy, joining with the fun too, so it was great.
Yeah. You had a couple of highlight plays. You had that 2-handed flush earlier in the game as well, which was pretty
that one
impressive.
was cool, but I'm more mad of the lob that I missed.
Yes.
That's the one that I was beating myself on, and now JC saying
bit of redemption though.
You've got to see one of those go down.
Yeah, a
this
little
season.
redemption for sure. Now JC saying not gonna throw me no more lobs, so I don't know.
We'll rectify that.
That's it. You guys have played together quite a lot on the court over the last couple of years. I want to take you back to Game 3 of the Championship Series last year. I know we don't talk about the Championship Series a lot. Scott Roth doesn't want to talk about it anymore. But you two shared the court, started the fourth quarter, rampage back, which led to the Jack shot. I want to talk to you, not specifically about that game, but what's it like sharing the court with this man and having the front court of the two of you? How do you vibe? How do you connect? What's that like?
I found it really enjoyable, especially the more time we spent together, the more time we've been comfortable. As traditionally, I've been more of the 5, Juke's been the 4, but we kind of have reps in
switchy,
the other,
right?
Yeah. So we've gotten, I think, to a really good spot where one of us, we can kind of interchange no matter what the play is. If I see Juke ahead and he's in the 5 position, I'm trailing, and I know he knows what's going on there, and vice versa. I like to think he thinks I know what's going on. So it's a lot of fun, I guess, having that interplay there and just playing off each other. It's a lot of fun to see Juke when he gets hot. And as you said, that game 3 was, I think there was one clip where Juke hits one of the 3s. I'm just in the background laughing because I'm just like, this guy's so fun to watch. Fun to be on the court with him when he's doing his thing.
Hey, Majok, what's it like playing with this man, playing with the other front court teammates, and what's your dynamic like with Fab, with Will?
Just exactly what it said. I think with me and Fab, we go well together. He has a great IQ on both ends. He always at the right spot on the receiving end of the offensively. And on defensively, he also at the right spot. So he helped me when I'm messing up or things like that. He's communicating, and you need that person next to you. And obviously, us both being big that can shoot straight the court, it kind of help us move the ball freely, and for the guards to penetrate and grab the paint and kick out and drag away the other big. So I think we work really well. And then having Max to play with, I can kind of gamble a little bit, knowing that I got a tower behind me, which is a luxury to have.
Bailout, right?
Yes. Yep. Pretty sure there's no big in the league that like playing against him, and I'm blessed to have him as a teammate.
When you get blown by or blow coverage, no, you're just funneling him to Max.
It's okay.
Like we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, it was a conscious decision. I didn't make a mistake. Though I knew Max was there.
I knew they'd test him. And I knew they'd lose.
So it's been really great. The people that I have and all the bigs, we work up real well.
Yeah.
Now, Paris, we've got to talk about that, Fab.
Absolutely. It's almost
such a huge moment for your nation, your home nation of South Sudan. I mean, the journey that you guys have been on over the past 10 years or so of professional FIBA level basketball. Yeah. Can you speak to that? Because that's one of the great basketball stories, I think, of the last number of decades.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The South Sudan national team has been alive for 4 or 5 years now.
Yep.
And credit to Luol Deng. Shout out to him. Without him, none of this will exist or will come to light. Obviously, when he retired, he had a vision. And obviously, he grew up in British, then to America when he was in the high school to the NBA. And then for him to have a courage to go back home, obviously, it was the newest nation then. The country was like 7 years old then.
Wow.
For him, there's no federation, or there was federation, but it wasn't ran properly. There wasn't anything in place. For him to come back and put things in spot and get the right people around. Obviously, we don't have all the luxuries of having the gyms and all the other resources that you need as an athlete to reach out to every other South Sudanese born out there in the diaspora to come back and present the country. For him to reach out to us, myself, I didn't second guess it at all. I felt as an athlete and you get a chance to represent your country, that's something that you don't take it for granted. And I took that with 2 hands, and it was during the World Cup qualifiers. Obviously, when he put everything together, he had a vision of not just on the court, but just to unite the country, because South Sudan, we have 64 tribes. It's a small country, but there's a lot of tribes, different
64.
Wow. 64 tribes. So and for that, for everyone to be together, it will be through sport. And he sees that basketball was the only thing that can bring the whole country together. And so we were playing for a purpose and for a reason. And that right there kind of helped us play freely and just knowing that we're just not playing for ourselves, but for the whole country.
I've got to ask about your tribe, your community in Australia as well. How were you able to recreate that here after moving here at such a young age? Because I imagine that it's in your heart, it's in your soul to be part of that tribe, to be part of a really strong community.
Here in Australia, we have a huge number of Sudanese or South Sudanese, I should say. I grew up in Adelaide. There's a massive number of people there. So when I came, I came to Australia. I was shocked at first. It was the first time I seen a lot of other race beside my own people. Yeah. And then so that was something completely different. 2 weeks later, I went to one of the event, Sudanese event, like a wedding, and I just seen a bunch of like hundreds and hundreds of Sudanese. I was like, wow. Yeah, my people are here too. So
must have been a great moment.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because obviously, me not being able to speak English, I couldn't understand a word. So for me to be around the people that I could understand, it was a happy moment for me. And yeah, it was great to see that there's other people out here that just like me, looking for a better life, looking for the same thing. So it was great.
Yeah, how did having that sense of community you said touched on, like in a foreign place, you've been super uncomfortable. How did that having that, help you realize or stay on the right path or realize what you wanted to do and I guess be comfortable with who you were?
Sport helped me because I'm a big soccer fan. It's my favorite sport in the world, even though I don't play it.
You two are bond over that, right? You play FIFA or what?
We've had a couple pre-training soccer games.
Okay, yeah, right.
And the other day I had first pick and I picked Juk. And so
did that go down well with the rest of the team?
It did. They couldn't complain. It's a draft. But we had a nice connection. We played. It was like 5-6 minute game. We needed a bit longer. We couldn't score, but we created some great opportunities, some great link up play. It's a sight to see Juk with the soccer ball. Let me tell you that.
So me being able to play sport kind of helped me because sport is a universal language. Mm-hmm. So when you play sport and even though I don't understand other people, they can see me play. We can kind of relate in a way. And then obviously me being able to learn English as I go kind of helped me a little bit. But the sport definitely helped me go into the Australian culture in a way and being able to adapt in that sense.
And one thing I want to just touch on and talk about, going back to your experience with the South Sudanese basketball team, I saw, obviously you guys would have seen the videos and everything of people back in South Sudan crowded around, going crazy, just absolutely, showing so much support for the team. What did that mean to, I guess, you and your team when, especially as you said, that was the vision for Majok Deng to, unite the country? And what did that feel like to, see that come into fruition?
Yeah, it was giving goosebumps, man. Like I'm telling you, I had chills. After each game, lose or win, it was like you would thought that we won the whole thing. The way they were celebrating us, the whole city. Whenever we play, the whole city stop, or I should say, the whole country. Whoever that get access to internet or TV, nothing moves. They have like a big Jamatron on the highway. Like they shut down the whole thing, and everyone just watching the games, and that's what it is all about. And you feel like we achieved what we were going for. Obviously, uniting everybody, because when there are 11 players that are selected, obviously. There's 64, but the 11 players, they're not going to be from every tribe. Yeah. But knowing that the flag that we carry is representing the all 64, it was one of the proudest moment of my life. I would say that goes with my kids. But yeah, it was definitely one of the highlights for sure.
You came across Kevin Durant in the pre-tournament games and tournament play, right? So what was that like?
The first time we played him in the O2 Arena. I was super pumped. I could barely sleep. I've been watching these guys for the last 15 years, and now I get a chance to actually play against them. And to me, they're probably the best team ever assembled. Yeah. People can have different opinions. If you look around from the LeBron all the way to, I don't know who you say is the weakest link. I don't think they have a weakest link.
No, they didn't have a weak link.
No one.
You know what I'm saying?
No and Jason Tatum finals MVP had a couple of DMVs. They have no weak links on that team.
Yeah, there's no weak link. So to go up against those guys, man, it was just like, it was a dream come true. Obviously, KD didn't play in the tune-up game. I was disappointed.
Yeah. I was going to say that this is the greatest team ever seen. But that game, you guys had them.
We had them from, even though we didn't win it on paper, I'll claim that we won.
Yeah.
We got fouled with like 3 seconds to go, and they didn't want to give us the foul.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
Of course.
LeBron and
that was a crazy game.
Nobody.
That was a crazy game.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to lose on the free throw line or anything like that. So that kind of our fault. But like it was credit to my guys. They played really hard. They put on. Obviously, we were 45 points underdogs.
Yeah.
You know, that game, and I think that's a game that put us on the map. For sure.
There's a whole lot more respect for the South Sudanese team around, particularly the American community. But when you here, we knew exactly what to expect from you guys.
So many talented players that spend a lot of time in Australia representing that South Sudanese team. So it was really cool to see those guys, especially who have, you've crossed paths with and see them on the world's biggest stage. It was really cool to watch.
Majok, you've played one game in Launceston, so I just want to talk to you about the north and northwest of the state as well. Fab's mentioned how important it is to have those fans up there. We've spoken about Hobart and the noise and, the love that we have in Hobart for the Jack Jumpers. What's it like traveling to other parts of the state like Launceston and seeing those fans?
No, it's been great. The one time I went up there, most of them they drive down here to make those games, so it means a great deal to
commitment.
them. Yes, it's a big commitment, and it just shows what the team meant to them. And for us, when we get a chance to put a smile on somebody's face on the court or off the court, or doing the promos up there, or doing those like preseason camps, we're trying to do it to the best that we can, and trying to make the day or trying to play the best that we could. Because not all of them will make it down to my state to come play, but the few that get to come here, they're the lucky one. But the one that don't make it here, we're trying to put on the show, trying to do the best that we could, just to let them know that we're with them too.
Yeah, and you touched on it a bit, but the power of the community, it's massive. And at the end of the day, we're playing a game, but you look at experiences with the people in South Sudan back home, have that community getting behind the team, and then so it's for us, we have the privilege of playing a part of building that community, and so to be able to go up there, really get behind that community who gives us so much and sacrifices a lot for us. It's a real pleasure and it's a real treat. So you said to give anything less than their best, it's not fair on them. And so every time we go up there, it's super exciting, super fun, and give it everything we have.
We've just come out of school holidays in Tasmania. You guys have been part of some camps and clinics and getting around that. How's that been?
It's awesome. I guess you see the kids are always so excited just to interact with us and to get them moving and having fun playing games with their friends. And then obviously they just love interacting with us, and you always see them excited. It's super cool.
I have kids myself, and I know what it's like for them. So I just put myself in their shoes. Think as like my kids too, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to do the best I can for them so they can have a good time, smile, because you never know what that kid was going through that day. That you can make the day for rest of, whatever that you do that day can be a massive thing for the growth going forward. So just one little act of kindness can go a long way.
You're the first dad we've had on the show, because we've had Jack, we've had Will,
there you go.
CNH. So you're married to the lovely Nairi. You've got Akura and Junior, are your two children. How do you balance being a professional athlete with being a husband and a father?
Oh man, it get tougher now that my daughter kind of she's a smart kid. She understands a lot of things now that she don't like when I leave.
Dad's got to go away and play a game.
But these short ones are okay. But the one that I go away for a trip, or whenever I do the South Sudanese national team thing, where I go away for more than a week. She gets sad, which is the hard part of it. And sometimes the other day she told me when we came back from Singapore trip, she's like, "Dad, I want you to start working from home." Mom used to do it, so that's me. You can do it too.
That means you can do it.
I like, ooh,
it's a bit harder.
It's gonna be a little bit harder. I'm gonna tell Scott Ross,
Scott, I'm working from home today.
I'm working from home today.
What would the reaction be to that request here?
Put me on Zoom.
I don't think any of us have the courage to say that to Scott Ross.
Do my vitamins on Teams.
Just visualize.
Do you ever take the kids to practice? They ever get around there?
Yeah, some on our days off. Like usually Wednesday is our days off. But when we have a day off, I bring them in the morning. We which is pretty. They just run around. We lucky enough they have a little daycare up there in the Kingsborough, where they look after the kids whenever the time's finished. They'll come downstairs and just run around. And yeah, and that's been good for my little man.
Yeah, it must be special for you guys to have the kids around.
It's always so cool and fun when, especially because you said most of the days off, the dads have the kids come in and they're just playing around on the sidelines and having fun. So whenever we're done, like there's times when, like Jook will be working out, but I'm finished or getting ready to go. And so you're just, passing the ball to the little ones or chasing them around, running around with them or something like that. It's always super fun. And I guess brings that sense of perspective, and it just shows how bought in, I guess, the staff is and the team is with that, having that family community and being super comfortable and being your true self around the team and, having – because we're a basketball team and we're never going to be as important as your family. So to be able to say, hey, they're more than welcome here and just it's I think it's a super important part of why we've had success and why guys are able to be comfortable in this team. Now,
Majok's known as someone that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Now, you've been called the funniest guy in the locker room. No. I want to know what sort of funny Majok is. Like, is he a trash talk funny guy? Is he a one-liner? Like, what are we talking here?
I wouldn't say trash talk, but Jook loves to just not like push buttons a little bit, but I guess pull people's leg a bit. The first thing that comes to my mind, I think it was one game or one day in the preseason we had a bad day, and Scott was just getting into us, like abusing, and then he's like, all of you guys except you, he's pointing at Rubens, he's got the good work rate. Everyone else, you guys reflect on today, you're not good enough. And then since then, Jook's just been calling Ruben work rate. Every time comes the voice, work rate over here.
Yeah.
There's just little things like that. Jook loves to just, get into
just needle.
Yeah, just have a bit of fun.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I have a big family myself. Got 23 siblings. So when you have those,
hang on, 23 siblings.
I got 23 siblings.
That is a really big family event every time.
And for that, obviously, there's gonna be a lot of talking in the house and things like that. And we just like talking. We just talking a bit of trash. Just be happy, jokes around, and. For me, I don't take a lot of things too serious, especially when I'm around the guys or the people that I know. I get to study you, know who you are first.
Yep.
And then when I'm comfortable around you, then I'll just say, little things every now and then, but just keep it interesting. Just laugh, enjoy the moment.
What about on the court with opponents? What do you talk, Mark? Is Majok a talker? You're probably going to say no, but I'm going to ask Fab because
I'll let Jook answer first.
Yeah. Okay.
Not really. It depends though. If somebody, usually I'll let somebody start, but once they start on me, then I'll just won't stop. I'll just keep going from there.
Good. Yeah. They set the rules of engagement.
Right? I was gonna say, I know there's always usually 3 people on the court that Jook loves to chat with, or if they don't give him a whistle, it goes the way Jook loves something to say.
Oh, really?
They're good.
Love the men in green. Different type of green than this.
I love green, but not the other green. I love the jacket green, but not the other 3 greens. Yeah, they sometimes they can get on your nerves.
But they got a hard job, but
that's it. I think everyone's played a social basketball game where someone on the court has talked too much to the referees, and you're like, "Come on, man, you're killing us here."
Sure,
it's just part of the game, but it's always good to see Jook just having fun. It just brings us such a breath of fresh air around the group when he's always smiling, always laughing, and brings that life and that good energy to the team, which is it's always massive because it's a long season, and so just to have those people have that energy in the team where some days are hard, but just good to have that energy, and you can look to Jook, and especially with warming up, anything, he's got a smile on his face, laughing, and it gives you that perspective that, hey, let's have a great day.
Next time, Majok, just hit him with it. This is just constructive feedback, right? Just constructive feedback. That's all.
Yeah, I might get more.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. I'll just leave it right there.
Let's go.
I'm trying to work on it.
Yeah. That's
got
good.
on me, so I'm trying to work on that.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, okay, so
Amazing.
We've
Let's
had
go
it-
to starting five.
Yeah, I was going to say we've had a
Straighten up.
great. Oh, we've got a lot of great stuff from Juk, but we'll try and narrow this in a little bit just to learn a little bit more about you with our starting five segment. To start with, Juk, what are some of your favorite memories or your most powerful memories from your childhood?
You've got an incredible story, and like you touched on it in the first instance, Majook. So we understand that there's a lot of memories there.
One of my favorite memories was back home in South Sudan, and the other one would be in the camp, in the refugee camp. The first one was being in a cattle camp. I don't know if you guys know, the cattle camp is it's not the village, but you live with the cattle, with the cows. When I was born in a village. When I turned 2, I went to the cattle camp.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in a cattle camp till when I was 7 years old, going to Kenya. But with that, it's like you just stay around cows.
Yeah.
You just go from place to place for the cows to graze. If the grass is finished, they got nothing to graze it. You go to another place where they can drink water, another different spot. So you just keep moving all year round. So
Yep.
Fascinating.
Yeah, just living there. Up there, you just drink. Only thing you do, you just drink milk for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's why when I drink the iced coffee,
Farmers Union.
Is that your vice? The Farmers Union iced coffee?
Juk is the only person I've seen have. He has a Farmers Union
box
pre-game. He's had it on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you have that much milk? He loves it.
Yeah,
Great, you literally were raised on milk,
Yeah.
right?
I was
Every
raised
meal.
on milk, so my first 7
There
years
you
was
go.
pretty much like on milk. So, so that was pretty cool. Just not being, because I wasn't a big on school.
Yep.
So, and just being a kid, just run around from sunrise to sunset and just doing absolutely just being a kid.
That's pretty
you know,
awesome.
and not worry about a thing. So
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite for sure.
Changing lanes. When did a career as a basketball player, when did that kind of become a reality, or you thought, hey, this is something that I'm going to commit to and something that I can do?
As I mentioned earlier, I was playing soccer growing up until year 12, but I hit my growth spurs when I was in year 11. So when I was 17, my brother and my cousin, his name is shout out to a Czech man, they told me, hey, soccer is not going to be it. You too tall. There's only one guy that would know that's pretty tall that did it, Peter Crouch. Yeah. And I don't, there's not too many tall soccer players, so you should give basketball a crack. So one day, where I played soccer, there's indoor basketball where they practice, and I practice outside with soccer. So they dragged me inside, like, just come have a watch. And I would just talk crap about basketball, how bad it is and all that. And I went in there, have a watch, everyone was dunking, they just doing all the cool stuff. And then I'm like, okay. And then I told them, okay, I don't have shoes, They're like, don't worry about that, we'll get that covered. So my brother went and bought me some shoes. And I went in there, obviously never tried basketball, never bounced, it was not it. So I was like, I don't think this is for me.
Struggled.
Yeah,
It's first time.
And how old are you when
I
this
was
kind of happened?
17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So 17 years old. So if you think I was basically too old,
Yeah.
So
Trying a new sport.
yeah. And me, obviously, for me, I'm a competitive guy, and when I did that, I did not enjoy it because I wasn't good. So I went back to soccer, and then they're like, just give it time, just one day a week, once a week. So when that become a reality, we play pickup. I'll be the last one to get picked. That one pissed me off. So then I like, okay, just for the sake of that, I will try my best from now going forward. So I won't be the last one to get picked. And I then from there, I just keep going. And then I met a guy, Richard Tucker. This was a year later, and when I met him, he told me, you got good instinct, you got good footwork. Obviously, you haven't played basketball long enough, but if you commit yourself and you actually believe you can be good at this, you can make a living out of it. And the only thing I need from you is just you to commit yourself. Come to practice. I won't charge you. Just show up. And from where he does the practice and where I live was like an hour. And back then I didn't drive. Nobody drives. And I had a bike. So I would ride my bike an hour 20 every day to go see him. And from there, everything just gradually get better. And from there, went to college. And when I went to college, my sophomore year, that's when I was like, okay, I was in JUCO. I wasn't playing enough. Mm-hmm. I think I was playing around 7 minutes a game. And then one of my assistant coach say, you would be lucky to get a Division I scholarship. And you'd be even lucky if you can make a living out of this. From that moment, that was it. It just kind of just flipped the switch. And then from there, I think I was living in the gym pretty much. And then I was like, okay, from this day, I'm going to be a professional basketball player.
Wow.
The rest
so you just had a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah,
you just kept being told no almost every turn. Pick last, told you, and you're like, nah, I'm going to make this.
Yeah, from that moment, I was like, I will be a professional. And
has that always been you? Like, have you always taken someone telling you can't do something as, I know, I'm going to do this. Like, I can achieve this.
Yeah, I love challenge. And obviously, sometimes when I get challenged, it's not for me to prove that person wrong, but to prove it to myself.
Yeah.
So once I prove to myself, that person that challenged me, they be able to see, it's different, or it's not the person that I thought, or and I always have a chip on my shoulder.
So I think that mindset's fascinating. Like, I need to do this for myself, because it's very easy to get external, but then that doesn't become very sustainable. But I think when it comes from inside of you, hey, I need to prove this to myself. I need to prove how good I can be. That's when, you've, I guess, shown it to yourself. How many years later, still playing this game at a high level? So
still playing, and then the funny thing is, after the Olympic, the same guy that say I wouldn't be texting me. I just looked at it like I just laughed. Like I don't hold nothing against him, because I don't hold grudges. I don't nothing at all, because maybe he probably having a bad day that day, but I just leave it at that, and I'm just proud to myself that I proved that to myself, that I got a Division I scholarship. I've been a professional now for a long time, and keeping going.
Yeah. That underscores how important coaches are to kids, though, because you shouldn't say those sorts of things to any youth player. You need to motivate people in the right way, because obviously, Majok, you required a bit of motivation at different points. You've admitted that as part of what you just said, but you need to motivate people the right way, which is obviously what Scott does for you guys, and what you've both experienced at different points in your career. Yeah,
it's coaching's huge, especially for that age of college. You would have been 19, 20 or so still very young and very influential. So finding good ways to do it, because obviously you need to find the balance between realistic and obviously pushing. So it's always fascinating when you hear the stories of people being told they can't do something and then going on to achieve amazing things. So it just shows the power of it, and being able to do things in a right way, in a constructive way, and just trying to be your best self as often as you can.
Absolutely.
Yep. Go on to the next question, Juk. Where exactly has your career taken you, and can you tell us the story of coming to the Jack Jumpers and what that sort of process looked like?
Oh man, basketball took me around the world, and it took me to places that I never thought I would go. Obviously, I came to Australia, and then after that, I never knew that I was going to go to America, go to Europe, go to other countries in Asia. Just through basketball, and it has been a blessing, so I don't take that for granted. And it brought me here to Tasmania, obviously, to play for the Jack Jumpers, and that is a blessing in a way, because I've been chasing one thing my whole career, and the Jack Jumpers get me that. When I achieved that, obviously it was like a family environment, because I'm a family guy first, and that bringing me here to where I know I'm going to be needed, I'm wanted, and it's a family environment, and that's what basketball is. Basketball is it's a big community, and when you find the right people they become family.
And then who have been, I guess you've touched on, I think, some already, but who have been some of the most influential people in your journey?
I would say there's a handful of people that I can say, because me being able to start late with my basketball, it took a lot of hands to bring me to where I am. So obviously my brother Maud, and then my cousin that I mentioned earlier, Echek, and then my first coach, which was Scott Frere, and Richard Tucker. And then shout out to Andy Simon, the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Simo. Yeah, those are the guys that play a big role in my basketball career. They helped me become who I am. They believe in me, and they push me when things go bad or when things going good for me. They still find a way to make sure I don't settle. So yeah, they definitely play a big role in my basketball career.
And finally, Juk, what is your why?
My why is my family. My daughter, my son, my wife, they play a huge role. Obviously, I play basketball for a living, but that's not who I am. I'm a family man first. My kids, they come before anything, and me being able to enjoy my time with them that's the only thing that means a lot to me.
Beautiful.
My wife.
What a beautiful way to finish the starting five, and what a beautiful segue into the discussion point for this episode, which is about community connection. You've talked so much about community throughout our time today, and I'm mindful that you were unseated or usurped from your community at an early age, so you clearly found a new community in Australia of like-minded people, of people from your home country. How do you nurture those relationships, and how does that community sort of help you stay connected and stay centered?
I'll take an example, like me coming to Tassie, and I live in Blackstone Bay.
Yep.
So is one of the reasons why I came back here too, because my family and my kids, they were comfortable. We feel welcomed.
Yep.
Everywhere we go, people talking, saying good things, like welcome to my wife or talking to my kids and things like that. And to be able to have that, even though obviously I'm Australian, but I'm a South Sudanese Australian.
Yep.
And obviously sometimes they don't see any difference. They welcome me with open arms, and that one right there means a lot, to be able to be in that type of community. And and just being in Australia in general, they play a big, massive role in my life. And obviously, if I did not come here, I don't think I'll have the life that I have, and the life that Australia gave me as a community is unmatched.
If you're a community-minded person and you're a professional athlete who moves around a lot, is it difficult because you have to form a new community everywhere you go?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I just came from Cairns. I still keep in touch with most of the people up there, because I was there for a long time. I was able to connect with those people. I still feel like I'm part of that community, because the memories that we made. My son was born up there. They have some of their grandmas or the grandpas up there that adopted us, that took us in, and to be able to form that relationship is massive, and it keep going. Even though I'm playing up here, they're still my family. Yeah, and that's gonna be the same thing. Who knows what will happen in the next couple of years where I'm at, and the relationship that I form here will still go on forever. So it's challenging, obviously, going somewhere new for the first couple of weeks, but once you find your feet and find the people and get to know the people around you a little bit, to get to form that relationship, it get easier.
And how important is that sense of community and family when things are going bad, like you're struggling in other areas, or things are going well? How important is it to have that and have those relationships and use them to, I guess, push yourself forward and get yourself back on track?
Yeah, it definitely is. Special, like for me, let's say, 'cause we travel a lot, and when I'm on the road, I got 2 kids, and now that the community that I form or that we form here, they be able to help my wife when I'm on the road. They be able to come in, or do you need a hand if the kids, because I got some wild kids, they got a lot of energy. So when they do too much sometime, then they will come. We have a lot of family here that will come in and help my wife a little bit, take the kids or look after the kids for a little bit, which is really nice, so she can get that little time. Yep. And that, knowing that too, it can calm me down, make me regroup, energize, and be able to do what I need to do on the court.
It's a family club.
Yep.
You've got so many dads as part of the team, so many kids, and it struck me after one game this year, after the Perth game, and after every game, really, when you stay a little bit later, you see the kids come out on the court, you see them playing, you see them interacting, you see them having fun, and if it's an afternoon or an evening, doesn't matter. That's kind of commonplace in your games. And your warm down is also a reintroduction of your home life as well. That doesn't happen everywhere. Yeah. It's not a common thing necessarily among professional sporting organizations. What makes the Jack Jumpers different, and where does that come from?
Yeah, it's that sense of welcoming families is one of the things that set them apart. I've been on teams that people weren't allowed, or like even family members, to come on the court.
Wow.
And now here the kids, as soon as the buzzer go, while we're warming down, the kids are running free.
Yeah.
And that's a memories that they would take on for the rest of their lives, and you never know. That goes a long way, and what it means to the parents is it means a great deal. And yeah, they even have like a program at my state where they look after the kids while the game is going on. If the
great.
Kids, yeah, if it get too loud, they have a carer that will look after the kids in one of the team room. And that right there is another thing that set them apart. And it just shows that it's a family first. Basketball is basketball, but like they're trying to make sure you are comfortable, and they will do whatever they needed off the court for you to be able to perform at that high level.
I just think it just shows how, I guess, you can't really say you're all about community and trying to engage the community if you're not living that. And so the club, I think, does a really good job of trying to live that and really be as welcoming as possible to everyone's families and our community as a whole. So I just think it's an awesome job of trying to really push that perspective and trying to be as community-minded and family-minded as possible.
I want to talk about your connection, because this is the second team you two have played on together. Mm-hmm. To both of you, how have you seen each other grow over the last few years, from your time in Cairns to your time here in Tasmania, and what's your connection been over that period?
Yeah, I would say when I first went to Cairns, I think it was Fab's second year.
I think it was my first. It was I was a DP, then that was my first contracted year. Yeah. Obviously, Fab always been a hard worker, always working on his game. His shooting has improved a great deal. Obviously, I mentioned the IQ, which is sometimes like being able to have a good IQ on the court. You get away with a lot of things, so you can see things a little earlier. You can read a play earlier. You find a way where you can see things a little different than the rest of the people, and being able to play with Fab or see that improve with Fab game has been a huge growth on his part, and obviously each year it gets better and better and better. Playing two different positions whenever it's needed, being able to understand every position, even the position that he don't play, he knows every play inside out from a 1 to 5, and so his growth has been massive from that time I play with him and to now. We just get better and better. And then I guess from a similar aspect, Jook's always been super talented at scoring, and I think and having that sort of impact, and he's always had that joy. I guess even when I first day in Cairns, he was super energetic and smiling and having that. I think the other aspect that goes into winning that you don't really see so much is like the mindset and the leadership sort of stuff off the court, just that touching a little bit with like the knowledge of the game and the IQ stuff. But Jook's really taken, I've seen anyway, like his impact on the team away from just what he's doing with the basketball. He's talking to guys. When we have young guys come in, he's always super encouraging, and that aspect of it, of being a basketball player and part of a team, I think he's kind of really taken strides forward. From when I first met him, was that 6 years ago now?
6 years ago.
I think it was end of 2018. So 18, 19? Yeah. So I think that aspect of it, not like obviously everyone improves as a basketball player, the skills, but just his ability to impact the team without the basketball, I would say, has just strides and strides forward. So that's been really awesome to see. And I think, he's just showed why it was such a massive part for this club. So, on the success we've had.
Huge. Now we're feeling fab.
I think we're feeling fab. So, Juk, we'll finish off today. A little quick fire segment, just to know a little bit more about you, a bit more fun. Yeah. And we'll kick it off with Juk. What is your coffee order?
Oat latte.
Oat latte. And Farmers Union.
Hang on. An oat latte?
Yeah.
But you drink the Farmers Union, which is the regular milk. So what's the oat latte? So
it is because the actual coffee is a little bit, it feels a little bit better with the oat instead of the actual
personal preference.
Milk.
Who's got the Farmers Union? Got the special.
And I changed that order when I went back home. I went back and had milk back home, and I came back and had milk here, completely different.
The milk's not as good here.
Not the same. I thought I was drinking water when I first came back. So I was like, nah, this is not it. So I went to
change it up. I like it. Basketball hero.
Katy.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit. What was your first car?
Holding a statement.
Oh,
okay, nice.
I like it. I like it.
High rolling.
Yeah. Where's your favorite NBL away venue?
I would say United.
Yeah.
John Kane. United. John Kane.
Play there. Had some good memories there.
Yeah, had some very good memories there. Yep.
What is the funniest things your kids have said or done?
My son, after the season last year, he took the fat hat. He took it home, and he would lay it down and he would dunk it, and then he would tell me, I dunk on daddy. Like I dunk on daddy.
That's awesome.
He just put it in and just dunk it.
That's awesome.
You get the father-son rule in the NBL.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. What is your favorite Jack Jumpers jersey?
Ooh, I'll probably go with the hoop face one, the yellow jerseys. I like them. They're super clean.
What do you like to do on an off day?
Just spend time with my family.
Yeah.
A lot of playgrounds in your off days, would you?
A lot of playgrounds. Yeah. And some days when it's wet, they just got to stay indoors, trying to figure a way to keep them entertained.
That is one of the harder things about being a parent in Tasmania.
Trying to keep them up YouTube and all that. Trying to find ways to. It's hard. It's tough.
That's awesome. Favorite phone app?
I would say IG.
Instagram. Yeah.
I would say the memes in there are crazy. Yeah, the memes in there, the reels, all that. Yeah, for sure.
Leave it there. What are you reading, watching, listening to at the moment?
Reading is Chopwood Carry Water. Reading that with the team.
Yep, team book.
And what I'm watching right now is Raising Cain, not the Power Universe. Yeah, watching Power. And listening, now just listening to everything. I listen to literally everything.
I love it. Yeah. And what is one thing you like to do to stay healthy?
I guess trying to eat right. Trying to eat right. Yeah, most days. Usually I have one day that where just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But the other days, just trying to eat
What's your go-to when you're trying to eat right? What are the staples of your diet?
So my wife make me the salmon.
Yep.
Yeah, with a bit of grass, I would say.
What is it? A few leaves. The leaf rabbits could eat it.
The rabbit food.
The rabbit food. Yeah. I know it well.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's good. Well, I was going to say, you said this is the first dad we've had on, and this is probably the first guy who hasn't said getting a great night's sleep.
That's right.
Because you don't can control that.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, Juk.
It's been great to have you on the show. Really insightful. We wish you all the very best for the rest of the season, the rest of your career, and we look forward to hopefully having you back one day on Vitamins. So thank you, Majok Deng.
Been awesome having you, Juki.
Appreciate you guys having me. Great day for sure.
Vitamins is presented by St. Luke's, who are looking for Tasmania to be the healthiest island on the planet. So we'll take a quick break and be back with our next guest.
Beautiful. Can't wait. Today we also have the pleasure of welcoming Katy Williams to Vitamins presented by St. Luke's. Katy's a certified futurist and has 20 years experience in retail, customer experience and strategic management, human resources, financial services, tourism and hospitality and technology industries. Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot of experience.
That's incredible. She wears many hats. Currently board member for Tasmanian Leaders Inc. and Inclusive Innovations Tasmania, as well as being on the board of directors with our friends at St. Luke's. So,
and co-director at what's your company called? Tell us about that. Disco.
But
it's not lights. No. Disruptive consulting.
Yeah. Essentially learning. Yeah.
There you go. Well, if you do have a disco, that could be. I could be there. It's a good spot for me. But welcome, Katy. How are you?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
That's good. So first up, can you just tell us what exactly is a futurist?
So a futurist is a person who works with organisations to go out to 5 or 10 years' time, help them think about what might be their ambition or their goal or the future that they'd like to have, and then come back to the present and work on the strategy to get there.
Wow.
And it's simplest form. Yeah.
Is that also about reviewing vision and purpose? Obviously, St. Luke's have a vision of making Tasmania the healthiest island on the planet. That's got to be a huge part of it, right? Like stepping it out, and you need to know where you're going before you understand how you're going to get there.
Absolutely. So I've been working with the board and the executive team to kind of really step out. What does it feel like in 2030 to be on the track to healthiest island at 2050? What does it feel like to have an organisation that is living and breathing healthiest island? What does it feel like to have a connection to community that understand what healthiest means? And a whole bunch of partners that are working with us to shape what this next 5 or 10 years might look like.
I want to unpack that a little bit, because what does healthy actually mean? What does the healthiest island mean to St. Luke's, and how can we unpack that a little bit more?
It's a great question. We're still forming what healthiest is. And in fact, that's part of our strategy for this year, is to start to connect with community and with partners and to define what healthiest is. And we've been looking at all over the world at places like blue zones, like Sardinia, or, places in Japan, Okinawa, all of those places around. Is it longevity? Is it healthy living and for a longer time? Yeah, that's probably a bit closer. But is it also all tenets of well-being? So are we economically well? Are we environmentally well? Are we mentally and physically well, which St. Luke's gets to own mental and physical wellness with partners. But who else is in the market, like other organisations in Tasmania that might own financial well-being, for example?
Fab, super interesting. You've been all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think you can pick up traits of wellness across the world. I mean, Katy, you mentioned Japan there. We've both been to Japan. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that struck me about Japan is there's bustle, but there's not necessarily that sort of air of stress.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I guess a similar sort of vibe. One thing I'd always noticed was, I guess, the sense of community that's kind of always there. Even in the city of Tokyo, like just a small thing, like you walk around, there's no rubbish anywhere. There's no pollution. Super clean. Everyone, everyone kind of not follows the rules, but super, like no one jaywalks. It's just like that real, and I think that kind of helps build that sense of community, I guess, togetherness. Even in I was in Tokyo for a little bit, but I was just a city of 37 million people. There is that sort of sense of
community,
which is super fascinating, and obviously can learn a lot. But also something I was curious about, like you're thinking about long-term planning. How does it kind of look like to work with these companies for their vision and be like, are we on track? What does it look like now? Like, I guess unpack that a little bit further.
Yeah, so when we go out to 5 or 10 years, there's no one true future, right? There's not a single future because it doesn't exist, right? So you get to shape stories of what our potential future might look like, and then say, oh, I like a bit of that. I don't like that. I want to come towards or move towards a place that's like that, but not like this. And so when you come back to your strategy now, you go, okay, well, we know that we don't want people disconnected. We want people to have, certain levels of literacy, for example, particularly with health, or education or digital. And we know that we want people to feel connected. So one of the things that I love to use is what is 1 + 1 and how do we make that equal 3? So when you talk about the community, right, it's I want to work with you to partner to achieve our goal. But what actually is that third step that's going to make the community benefit from us learning together? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's probably what's really beautiful about Japan is that they've all got this sense of community connection. So they go to work and they buy from other people or they interact with other people, but they're always thinking about the higher order, best for the community in mind.
Yeah.
One way St. Luke's is experimenting with this is through wellness hubs. They've established wellness hubs in Hobart, Launceston. I want to talk to you a little bit more about how that concept went about and what is a wellness hub, because I'm sure many people all around Tasmania have walked past the St. Luke's offices. They're in really prominent positions around those cities, but they might be looking and going, what's that? What happens in there? And seeing advertising for yoga classes, for Scott Roth to come and talk to people at St. Luke's.
He's one of our favourites.
A wide range of different activities.
Yeah. So the concept behind the Wellness Club Hub was around how do we bring the community in, right? And because I'm a bit of a provocateur, the first kind of concept that I presented to the executive team to start to think about was a St. Luke's Scooter Club, right? So the idea that a whole bunch of people from the community could bring in, like actual mobility scooters and meet in a place where they can actually get to know each other and feel safe, so cafe style, and then learn something about something that's important to them. So when we moved that to wellbeing and we said, okay, well, how do we actually help people understand things about topics that are important to them, like aging well or cancer, and how do we navigate treatment for cancer, or how do we navigate good mental health with young people? And so then we said, okay, well, let's run through a series of experiments, because that's a really important part of how you make sure that you're bringing that future to life. How do we run a series of experiments that help us understand how people want to interact with this place? And so we, before we actually even did the design of the place, we were asking people, what might we do in here? So like lunchtime TSO sessions or sound baths, which is one of the hot favourites at the moment.
What's a sound bath?
Sound bath is freaking amazing. It's like this incredible human being, Ash, comes in and essentially it's like a meditation, but it's with sound, and the sound is set at a frequency that you actually feel it in your
the vibration
soul.
To it, right?
So it's a way to relax. It's a way to wind down. It's a way to come to presence, be really present with yourself, but you use music to do that, and it is amazing. He does that once a month in Hobart.
Fascinating.
You're going to have to try it.
Wow. Yeah, a sound bath. Feeling the vibrations of a sound sounds like going to the big day out or something.
Yes.
But, might take me back to my golden days, Fab.
It's like the whole floor shaking. And you know what that sounds like, Fab.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's basically what my State Bank Arena is like.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Some sort of version of a sound bath. How good is that?
I've often sat up in the back of my State Bank Arena and had the headphones on in media, and you can barely hear yourself talk in that arena. And you want an example of community. You want an example of an organisation that has built a community in a really short period of time, and makes all the sense in the world for St. Luke's to partner with the Jackies.
Absolutely. And I was just saying before, the idea that we are limited to the number of seats that are in that place, but your footprint and your impact in the community is so much broader than that. So when we were thinking about what is a classic Tasmanian partner in wellbeing, it was without question that the JJs had to be on our list.
Yeah.
I want to get into St. Luke's a little bit more, Fab, because they're more than just a health insurer. They take a leadership role in the community, and the vision and purpose is a part of that. The wellness hubs are a part of that. What's some of the other work that St. Luke's is doing?
Yeah, so I officially had my dental checkup last Monday. So we've just opened our second dentist studio place.
Awesome.
I'll get it out
Clinic.
in a minute. Clinic is the word I was looking for.
There you go. I'm good for the words.
And so we saw a gap in the market where there was a need for not only our members to be served really well with good oral health, but also the ability to increase the number of hours that were available for people who didn't have private health insurance to get access to a dentist. So we started with the Launceston Dental Clinic, and we've just opened one in Shoreline, which is amazing. So it's getting out into the communities and making sure that people are caring for their oral health.
Awesome.
Health, such a big part of your day. It's a common theme on this show.
Yes, that's for sure. And, it's something that I think I've said it before. It's lucky that I guess it's my job and to be healthy, I guess. So, and, that covers everything from mental, obviously, to physical as well, and just performing at a high level. So I've spent a lot of time just, trying to get as much information as I can. So it's super, and the older I've gotten, the more time I've been around it, you just kind of realize how important these things are to a happy life, a enjoyable life, and, just to be at your best. So seeing these initiatives, I guess, from St. Luke and really pushing that, and in terms of getting into community and promoting that's really awesome to see. And it's pretty cool to, I guess, play a small part of it.
Katy, how can we extend the way that St. Luke's have looked at the future of our island to different aspects of what we do as, people, communities, organisations, that sort of, what lessons can we learn there?
Yeah, I think what we're really looking for is a movement around Healthiest Island. It's the idea that we've got something really special here. We definitely want to defend it, and we definitely want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to be healthy and well and educated around their well-being. It's been a big journey for me personally. For example, I was raised in a fairly low socioeconomic neighbourhood in Tasmania. It wasn't easy to get access to great nutrition. So there are things that I'm learning on my journey around great nutrition. So we're working with Rosie Nash, who's doing some incredible work around health literacy in schools, starting with good nutrition, starting with good movement, starting with, thinking about the health of your brain and how you take care of your brain, and through meditation or pause or creativity, whatever that looks like. So really it's about it's a call to action for every organisation in Tasmania to think about what is the role in well-being that I play, and how might I start to join a movement that says, actually, we deserve the whole state to be thriving and flourishing. We deserve every kid to have an opportunity to play for the JJs. We deserve everybody to be able to live to 5 extra years, but in a healthy way, with access to great social connection and places like that. So I think it really is about saying we've all got to get committed behind that and do that.
And, I know you spoke before about, the long-term goals and not exactly knowing what that looks like, but what is one, I guess, metric that you're super passionate about that maybe in 25 years you can point to and really want to Tasmania to, I guess, be a leader in?
Yeah, I think the one that I'm really interested in at my stage in life and with ageing parents is around mental well-being in your older years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about how do we have thriving, healthy brains in all Tasmanians. And so it's that healthy living years. So how can we go from not just what's the average age of a Tasmanian or how long do they live, but actually can they score to the absolute 100% that they are living with vibrancy in those ageing years?
Yeah.
And how can we make that happen? That's probably the big metric that I'm keen to kind of shift the dial on.
Yeah.
Amazing. We look forward to seeing how St. Luke's continues to help Tasmania to be the healthiest island on the planet, and obviously the Jack Jumpers are going to play a part in that.
Absolutely.
Moving forward,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always awesome just to see. I think the numbers just grow, I guess, with kids as well. And so obviously that's where we play a major part. So hopefully, when we get out to schools and have the clinics and engaging with young kids, that we guess inspire to when they're in 15, 20 years time, when they're in, adults in life and leaders in the community, that they're kind of pushing that forward. So I guess, it's also long-term payoff in that regard, but it's super cool to, I guess, maybe play a small part.
Absolutely. Katy, thanks so much for being a part of Vitamins presented by St. Luke's today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Fab, episode 4 in the books. We've had all the Olympians we could possibly find in the Jack Jumpers
scoured the club for them. We've got them all here, got them in the first 4 episodes, but it was a lot of fun talking to Majok and Katy today. Got some awesome insights and just, it was really interesting people.
It was. Make sure you stay glued to the Jack Jumpers social media channels. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate the episode across Apple, Spotify, YouTube as well. We'll keep this episode rolling. Yeah. We'll stay up to date on all the NBL 25 happenings across the Jack Jumpers social channels. And a huge thanks once again to our friends at St. Luke's. Thanks for joining us, and see you again for episode 5.
Appreciate you guys. Bye.